So hi, I'm Mike Hammonds. I'm director of our field service organization. And I'm going to go more into a little bit of a scenario here, right? And so we're going to walk through a connected field service workflow and kind of what happens there and show you some actual real product here. Typically what we see is that either a customer will call in, maybe they'll hit our portal, right? Maybe they'll send us an email. But more and more what we're seeing is a device itself can actually send an alert when something's wrong, right? A temperature is increasing or decreasing, humidity is off, things along those lines that can trigger automatic notifications and work orders. And so we're going to show you how some of that can work. What then happens is typically you have some way of trying to triage or address that issue, right? So we're going to touch a little bit on case management to help you see how some of the built-in capabilities can handle responding to those customers or responding to those alerts, right? And ultimately, if we can't get it resolved in our first call, that more often than not requires somebody to go on site, right? And perhaps do some on-site troubleshooting and or repair. So let's start with that scenario and give you an idea of how Dynamics 365 Field Service can help with that. So we're going to touch around work orders, right? And again, I'm not going to show you the actual creation of the work order from a portal, but know that that's a capability that's there, right? We're going to start our work order from a machine that has automatically generated it, right? As Dan was alluding to, more and more machines and equipment are already equipped with Wi-Fi, with cellular, with Bluetooth that allows them to be connected to the internet, right? And connected to things. And even today, if those devices and machines aren't, I mean, for as little as $10 or $20, you can actually equip these existing machines with little tiny devices that can do those sorts of measurements and notifications. So really very low cost today to be able to equip existing equipment or take advantage of ones that already have. We'll also not really going to deep dive into agreements, but that's an important aspect from a customer service perspective, right? We need to understand what the customer service agreement is. These are typically around maintenance contracts, right? And service contracts. What's nice about the built-in capabilities is, let's say it is maintenance related and it's a quarterly maintenance, we can configure the system to automatically generate a work order on that time period. And if you so choose, even allow to automatically assign it to a particular field technician, right? All 100% automated. And then, as I mentioned here, we're going to show you how an IoT or an Internet of Things device can trigger that alert, and then how we can go ahead and address that. So once that work order is created or generated, we'll then go into and show you the rich scheduling and dispatch capabilities. This is what we call universal resource scheduling. And what we mean by that is, traditionally this started with being able to schedule work orders and assign them to people, the right people, in order to have them go out and resolve the issue. But if you think about it, you can actually schedule anything, right? And that's what we mean by universal resource scheduling. So you can schedule opportunities, you can schedule people to come in for visits. Say if you're a doctor's office or a dentist, there's really no limit to what you can use the scheduling engine for. In addition to that, there's now even more intelligence built into the scheduling engine. So Microsoft is investing a lot around artificial intelligence and machine learning, detecting patterns and automating those capabilities. So it can automate a field work order and automate the dispatch of that field order. So you can literally have a completely hands-off scenario where a device is starting to fail in the field. It generates a case number or a work order. That work order then goes through and assigns it to a proper resource with the proper skills, and then automatically sends that notification to a field service technician, right? And then from there, once the technician's finished, they can close that out and finish the loop. So we're going to show you that scenario here. So I'm going to start on the Dynamics 365 side of things. So let's go in and show you that. So here is my opening dashboard for, I'm going to be the scheduler today. Essentially, I'm going to be kind of the inside tech and scheduler. So within that, I can see that I've got nice capabilities here, show me what's happening in real time. But I'm going to go over to my cases area here. And what we saw is that once I go to my cases, we see a temperature alert from an Internet of Things device. Okay? So this was automatically generated from a device and created a case due to something malfunctioning. Okay? So if I go in and I look at the details here, it was a temperature related alert, right? And so this device has a temperature monitor, and it saw that it was out of scope and decided to create this ticket for us to try and help resolve. Now notice here that I also have really wonderfully rich knowledge base search capabilities. So in order to try and do first case resolution, right, I want to try and prevent sending a field technician if I can, because that's high cost for organization, higher cost oftentimes for a customer. So if I can solve that over the phone just by looking through the details of what that alert might mean and how I might address it, then I can certainly do that. And from here, then I can either just go ahead and link that to the record. I can send that to a customer to perhaps to try some self-help on their end, or I can just go ahead and use a link that I've created and tried that. Right. So now we say, okay, we tried over the phone to resolve the issue, still not seeing the temperature adjust correctly. So now I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to create a work order. And so we can go ahead and take this existing case information and simply convert this to a work order. And so we're going to go ahead and create that. And now you'll see that the work order was created successfully. And so yes, I do want it to open up that record so I can go see the details of that particular work order. So now you see we've transitioned from a case and being able to work on it manually there to now a work order that's assigned to the location that called it in, where that device is, so where that asset is sitting. Plus we can see, in addition to that, because it is a malfunction, it will automatically also schedule some service tasks. Because we know historically when we see this type of issue, there's a set number of tasks that we want to do to help resolve that issue while we're out in the field. All right. So these are the steps that the technician is going to walk through to resolve that issue. Okay. And we can add other things like, have knowledge base articles available at the work order level and things along those lines as well. Notice that it also tracks hours automatically, and that will adjust over time. So there's some additional intelligence built into the system there. So now, right, I need to schedule something, right? We haven't been able to resolve it over the phone, so let's jump over to the schedule board. And so the schedule board is where it uses that intelligent capability to allow me to understand where are all my resources and can I find the right resource to address that particular issue. Okay. So notice that right here, this item number 60, that's work order number 60, and that's the one that we just created. Okay. But while I'm here, I can actually do some searching and filtering here. So let's say that I needed to find a resource with a particular skill set, right? Maybe they need to be certified in some way. So they need a CMRT certification. And I at least need them to be, a good level. So I can hit apply here. And now I search through, and that now shows me a list of all of my resources that have that particular skill set. Right? Maybe if I have a different skill set, right? And we can come into here and say, okay, maybe I need somebody who has that certification and at least that level. And there we go. So I only have one person available right now that has that particular certification. So as I kind of look through here, I have all types of certifications and skills I can search through. We can narrow it down by territory, by organizational units and locations, right? So really any types of filtering that you require here can be configured within the application, right? But now let's just say that in this case, we see that, Alejandro's out there, maybe also I want to see this just by a map view. So I'm just going to flip over to my map view here. And what the map view does is this gives me, a geographic view of my resources. So at this point, think of this, I'm a central dispatch location. I can see where my resources are currently. So there's an open resource. I can see our locations. We can even drill down to see inventory at those locations. But as I kind of scroll down, notice that this is actually a live view with live traffic information at my fingertips. Okay, so as I get closer and closer, we can see that there's a work order that Alejandro's been working on, right? And we can see that work orders have been assigned and who they've been assigned to. And then the little question mark ones those are the ones that are open and have not been assigned yet. So I can literally assign those right from here, okay? But I'm now going to go back to the Gantt view, if you will. And in this case, we're going to go ahead and schedule Alejandro for resolving this particular issue. So I'm just going to drag this up and I'm just going to drop it right on the schedule for today. And now you'll see here, it gives me the particular details. Yes, we still want it to be resolved today. It will have a status of scheduled, and then I'm going to hit book. And so now what that's doing is that's assigning him that work order. He gets a notification on his phone, and he can now start to resolve that issue. And if I want to see any other items he's working on, I can see those as well. There's also color coding involved here, so that depending on the color of the status bar, I'll know if he's en route, I'll know if he's on site, I'll know if he's on break. All of those live information to help me provide better service to my customers are all there. Yeah. So with that, let's go ahead and now I'm going to flip this over to Alejandro, and you'll see how he will be able to handle that ticket while he's out in the field. So Alejandro, over to you.
Thanks so much, Hammonds. To continue with our journey today, we're going to use the field service mobile app to look up the history and the customer information. So really, after traveling to that customer, we're going to follow some key steps to complete the work order. We're going to even hit a wall and find trouble while we're on site, where I'll be utilizing remote assist and calling in to a experienced technician. And then at the end of the workflow today, we're going to get a signed signature from that client and close out that work order. So how do we achieve that, though, from within inside of Dynamics Field Service? Well, there's a number of, sorry, I forgot to move it along here. But there is a number of features within inside the Field Service mobile app that lets technician view work orders, customer assets, accounts, and contacts all out in the field. This mobile app is built on Microsoft Power Platform and can be customized to meet your business needs. And it also works for both Apple and Android phones and tablets. With Remote Assist, technicians will be able to get live support when they need it. Right now, everybody is hiring at a fast rate. Well, with Remote Assist, it's going to allow your organization to support your junior staff who might be inexperienced out in the field with actual experienced technicians. This allows your technicians to learn faster and gives them step-by-step instructions on how to actually complete the task and move forward with these work orders. So today we're going to demo how easy it is to use Remote Assist utilizing my phone, Dynamics, and Microsoft Teams. Also, if you remember from what Dan was talking about earlier, we do have that ability to have a field service portal, which is built on top of Power Apps. With this portal, customers are able to actually create those work orders, manage and schedule appointments, open up support cases, and view when an actual technician is going to be coming on site. They can see additional information about that technician, making sure and verifying that that individual is who they say that they are. With Power Automate, Dynamics can be triggered, workflows can be triggered based off of statuses or even key dates for text messaging alerts, as well as emails to both the customer and even the technician. So what I want to do is actually I want to jump right into my phone, and let's go ahead and take a look at what this app looks like. So everybody should be seeing my phone right now. And with that being said, you'll notice that I have a number of things to do today, especially since Hammonds keeps loading up my schedule. But right now I have an appointment that I need to get to, and I need to get more information about that. If I open up that item, I can actually take a look that I've been scheduled for this 60-ton chiller, and I need to actually go on site to this customer. I can actually say, you know what, I'm going to start my traveling. And with that being said, if I say that I'm traveling, it's going to actually calculate how long does it take me to get there. So if I open up the customer tab here, you'll notice that inside the customer tab, I can see the address information. And if I need to, I can actually get directions right from my phone so that I know how to get there and how long is it actually going to take me to get there. So after, let's say I do travel and I've gone through, I've gotten actually on site with the customer, I can change my booking status. I can even say that it's in progress. You'll notice that my actual travel time has been filled in for me. And I can start actually servicing this chiller. I can go to my service tab with on my mobile device, and I can see everything that I need to do in order to complete this work order item. I need to inspect the door seal, which is one out of the 4 tasks available. And after reviewing that door seal, I've noticed that the temperature still hasn't been adjusted correctly. Well, since I'm new and out in the field, I don't have that ability, or I don't know how to actually adjust the temperature. So with the native integration with remote assist, I actually do have the ability to phone a friend, if you like to call it that way. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna open up my menu items here. I'm going to click on remote assist, and you'll notice that I actually have available contacts to me. I can see Michael Hammonds is here, and I can just call Michael Hammonds directly right from my phone. And if you notice here, it opens up Teams. It gives the ability for Michael Hammonds to see my screen, as well as it gives them that ability to take a look at what I'm looking at currently. So Michael Hammonds, can you hear me okay?
Hello, Alejandro, loud and clear.
Awesome. Well, hey, I'm actually on site at the client right now, and I don't know how to actually adjust the temperature. Can you kind of walk me through that?
Absolutely. Yeah, I know they've moved the devices and those sensitive settings around a little bit, but here I'll show you right on the screen. Those are the 2 that you want to be able to use to adjust those.
So these 2 buttons here.
There you go. Those. Yeah, you want to stay away from the ones that are down here. Don't do those. Just the
Oh,
one
okay.
up with the arrow.
Absolutely. Well, thank you for helping me do that. Is this let me show you this here real quick. Is that the right humidity that's supposed to be in this fridge?
Well, according to the knowledge base, that one's off slightly, so you want to lower that by, according to the specs, 2 more degrees.
Fantastic. So you know what? I will take a look at the back of the unit and see if I can get that fixed. Thanks for your time today.
You're welcome.
So I can actually end this call, and after ending this call, I can post this to the work order item. Not only will it post the actual work that we just completed on the screen, but it'll actually record the phone call too as well. So all of that can be done with inside of this field service app, as well as remote assist too. And then after getting the support that I need from my technician here, I can go back into my field service app. I can say that I adjusted the temperature. I was actually able to do a site cleanup too as well. And the last thing that I have here is the sign off. And I can do that by going into my notes section here, reviewing any additional notes that might be on this actual work order, and then giving the customer my phone to actually do the signature. As soon as I get that signed, I can actually put additional notes from a technician perspective. So need to follow up and go ahead and hit save here. So after hitting save, the last thing that I need to do so I can go on to my next job is go under my general tab here and just change the status to completed. Go ahead and hit save. And then after that, I can go back to my dashboard here in the very beginning of my app and be able to figure out where am I going to next. Seems like I'm off for the rest of the day, so I'm gonna go golfing. And you know what? I'm gonna send it right back to Hammonds.
Awesome. So thank you very much for that. You're an amazing field technician. So we're now going to kind of complete that circle, if you will. So as Alejandro mentioned, the case was updated in real time. And then if we take a look here on the application itself, notice that that's when he was traveling. And then now, if I do a quick little refresh, we'll see another little check marks next to the item there. So you get that real-time status and update information. Okay. Now, even better, we have, we want to be able to report on things, right? We want to be able to understand trends and information that can help us maybe resolve issues before they happen, or that we just want to see if maybe there might be something that engineering needs to take a look at, right? Because a certain item might be failing more often than others. So that's where the analytics and insights comes into play. And so this is, again, built-in Power BI capabilities that gives us those really top-notch analytics capabilities on top of our data. So as you can kind of see here, this one is focused on just how are we doing from an organization perspective, work orders, have we not been meeting our service level agreements, how long does it take us to get things scheduled, to get things travel times and efforts along those lines to really help reduce the cost to our organization, and as we heard earlier, turn this into more of a profit center. And so you've got the nice capabilities. You can look from, date ranges, very simple and easy selections there. You can look at, for example, by customer. And so you might see that a certain customer maybe has some equipment that maybe is aging and fails more often than other organizations, right? Different types of statuses, work order types. We can see how many have been inspections, how many have been repairs, right? Do the combination of those two by multi-selecting, right? Things along those lines, even down to the territory level or technician level. So we can see that, I've handled a few, and we can see that Alejandro has as well. So that's really some of the, again, the built-in capabilities in that 360-degree view or journey of an issue being generated, us trying to address it from our central location to dispatching to resolving it out in the field. So now let's follow up with, kind of the capabilities that HSO has created on top of this. And so we have what's called our advanced service and maintenance capabilities. And so Microsoft's done a fantastic job of building out capabilities, but certain industries need a little bit more. And that's where organizations like HSO comes into play. And that where Microsoft gives us really a lot of great functionality, we extend that to those industries that might have deeper or slightly different needs. And so what we found is that we have certain things around service management, around rental management. By that we mean, apartments, buildings, things along those lines, physical structures, right? Maintenance related to those structures. So those are all kind of built out. Think of those as more industry specific items. And then we also have things along the lines of our tender management, meaning RFP management, even product capabilities, right? And so within that, we have built out these areas in providing much deeper integration with the finance side of things, as well as just extending the features and functions to give it more automated, reduce any manual steps and things along those lines. So certainly, if you have some of those additional needs, please reach out to us, and we would be more than happy to provide demonstrations of some of those extended capabilities, particularly around the industry areas and the service level agreements, asset management, and case and work order histories.